stream time.
Well, I am now live.
Oh,
Hmm.
I think. Oh, it didn't work for me. Oh no.
You might have to like not exit out of it, but like edit so like right next to it there should be edit broadcast.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put it like on YouTube. Then like
Yeah, like,
primary YouTube investor.
all you
Next
have to
account.
do is just hit edit broadcast, and then you should be able to like type in your YouTube name, and you'll be able to do that.
Authorizing complete success. You can now close this page. Okay, cool. Ignore stream service settings, recommendations, max video bitrate, output,
Hi,
output.
welcome to my live stream.
Hello, hello.
We're having complications.
A little bit of complications. I'm sorry. um. So far, I think I can be able to like stream if I can. Show confirm dialogue. Confirm dialogue and stuff. Starting, stopping recording, automatically stream.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
What does it
I'm
say?
gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna go ahead and press apply. YouTube chat. Once a broadcast has been created, your live chat will appear here. Private broadcasts are not supported. Oh, wait, what?
It basically means that you can't private a video. It can't like
Oh,
you can't
I'm not doing
private.
that.
Yeah. Woo, isn't technology amazing?
My very first live stream.
I hope you're having a great time during this live stream so far.
Just have fun. Don't be rude. Anyways.
Goodness, are you like threatening them? Turn in the Kratos over there. Don't be rude.
Just have fun. Don't be rude. Basically, it's like no, it's not made for kids. Yes, it's made for kids. No, no, it's not. Definitely
No.
freaking not. No, it ain't. No, 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 no. I'll figure out a thumbnail for this thing later. But for right now, I'm just gonna like entity normal 360 create
I wonder what
broadcast
this
and start
360 looks like. You can just
live streaming is unavailable on the selected YouTube channel. Please note that it may take up 24 hours for live streams to become available after enabling into your channel settings. What?
it's weird.
I beg your
You might have
pardon?
to do a because did you just yeah, YouTube's weird like that. I think you have to like request it first. I don't know. Whenever I did mine just allowed me to. It didn't even ask.
The road though.
You might just have to do a video.
Hmm.
Just don't even edit it. Just post it as soon as you get done with it.
Okay.
I know.
Well, yeah, that's annoying though. What the heck?
What did it say? Just wait 24 hours?
I literally have to wait 24 hours so that I could freaking stream. That
That's
that
YouTube for
that is
you.
that is rude. That is mean. What the frick? Okay. Well, either way, I'm just yeah. I just start recording. I just started
Okay.
recording. So, anyways,
Sorry that didn't work for
greetings.
you, but I'm like, you could always just record it and then just put like a thumbnail on it, then just post it on YouTube. Just not even
That is
record it.
true. Yeah, that is true. But still, that's annoying as heck though. Like, why? Like, out of all the things, if I was able to like stream, I didn't know I had to wait for like 24 hours just to stream. My goodness. But aside from that, but aside from that, I'm probably complaining too much. But aside from that, I'll go ahead and try and do my thing and just say hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I am collab with Honey Blossom, and we're just gonna be doing like certain things, kind of like either like reading fan fiction or probably like doing some video game plays if we have the time at least. And soon after, we're just gonna yeah, pretty much do our own thing, right?
Yeah,
I don't know
either
if this
play a
okay.
game or probably watch some funny cat videos, because who don't like cats?
I'm not gonna lie, cat videos does sound nice though.
Especially the
Like
ones
especially
whenever they get stuck in like the curtains.
oh no. I think maybe either even worse or better. One of them gets kind of gets stuck onto like the wall frame from the stairs. Remember that?
Oh my goodness. And you're gonna it must be thinking of Spider Cat.
Oh, Spider Cat! Oh,
That's like
I
an
forgot about
old
that.
video.
Yeah, very old video, but still a gold though. I swear.
But, hello
But
guys,
anyways,
welcome to my channel. Oh
sorry.
my goodness. It's like I've been live for like 10 minutes now and I haven't even done an intro.
Oh, actually, I probably should introduce myself as well. I'm TiredRed Phoenix, and welcome to my channel. I can be annoying as heck, but it'll be a book. Words. I'm sorry for
This
my humble jumble and all that stuff. It's gonna be very complicated because I'm gonna be doing my best not to curse like a sailor in this video stream or anything, cause like YouTube won't let me, I suppose.
Yeah, I am a heavy sailor on that.
Yeah. I want to do my best not to like curse like a sailor, at least at the very beginning of the video, because I know whenever it came to YouTube and everything, it, 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 it it's just rude. YouTube
Hmm.
algorithm and especially the whole entire thing is rude. I must say that now. But the one thing I'm happy about is that they do have certain positive stuff in this platform, and I am happy that it exists, especially the
Oh,
ones that have the memes. The
speaking
YouTube
of
kids.
YouTube, so I
Mhm.
heard that where did I hear it from? I heard it from another YouTuber. I don't remember what his name was, but um he said that Congress is actually thinking about not only getting rid of YouTube, but getting rid of like the like all all like the lower channels, just so like the higher channels will be thriving and no one else can really
What?
try. It was
So we're
something
not even
stupid
given a
like that.
chance, even if we tried? Are you
But
serious?
yes, but the reason because is because like the YouTube kids, like people still post like inappropriate stuff on there because they're not checking it properly, so they're just gonna just
I mean, I'm
go
not
away
gonna
with it.
lie. Yeah, YouTube Kids needs to fix that. Somebody who's operating YouTube Kids needs to fix that because I I hate to say it, but every single time I kind of look at it, my mind is like I feel like they're gonna look at something that they're not necessarily supposed to look at.
And then yeah,
Uh,
scarred for life.
like even especially ones that had like and I will admit like this the whole entire My Little Pony franchise fandom stuff.
Oh my goodness.
They had a lot of gore stuff there.
Don't
They
even
had
get me
a
started
lot
with
of gore stuff.
bronies.
Yeah, I like I'm sorry to say because the thing is that I kind of go through Netflix and everything, and then I just started watching some stuff, and then I saw like this My Little Pony episodes thing that's on the platform, and I was like, okay, I don't really have much of anything else to watch or have any interest at the moment of time, so I guess I'll probably watch this since I got curious as a kid. So I soon watched it, went through four of the seasons. I think it had four seasons. Yeah, probably four
I
seasons.
think it does.
And
I haven't watched it in a while.
yeah, it has four seasons, and I watched through those four seasons. Surprisingly, it was actually really good. surprisingly, it was actually really good. Not only for emotional wise, but also for whoever is supposed to live life like they had to. Because there is like life lessons, and those life
Yeah,
lessons actually should be very effective.
I
I
am.
guess though not as effective as it should be because there is a lot kind of just
I am
freaking
gonna
annoying.
say this, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for it, but My Little Pony is a whole lot better than a lot of cartoons nowadays. Like, literally, every time I turn on the TV, the most stupidest cartoon will pop up, and it's something about, okay, so you remember the, um,
I don't
um,
know. I think they're still good. It's just the way they kind of implement it is going to be kind of like an odd taste for like certain people that were born either kind of like a little late or a little early. I don't know.
oh, and they're only gonna make cartoons about, like, where, like, the main character is only a kid, and
But
like nothing above a kid. So basically, everything else is just thrown out the window. And
oh,
yeah,
I don't know. It's okay if I say my opinion a little bit.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say actually is that there was at least like a few like well, at least with one of them anyway. Kind of like Bluey, for instance. That's on yes, that's on Disney. And the thing is that I actually only like watched like a little bit of something, and even though yes, it didn't necessarily like pique my taste or anything, I did see like a lot of TikToks about it, and I am not gonna lie, it is very very adorable. And then I do
Bluey
admit
is very
there was actually kind
adorable. I
of
can't lie. Bluey is pretty adorable.
exactly.
Like, I'm almost 20 years old, and I'm still
I'm
watching cartoons.
I'm 21 and I watched that for a little bit and I'm like, this is oh my gosh. Yes. Can we have this? I don't know. It was something. And then there was like this other thing and and part of me if this spoils anything, it's something about when and they mentioned that there was this one thing of where in this whole entire thing where this the sister I think who is pretty scared of growing up and not being able to like lay down on the same bed as with their parents anymore because
Mm.
she's kind of afraid of like doing things that she would want to do specifically to well feel safe or feel like she can
Oh.
sleep on her own or more likely being able to sleep at all I guess then the next thing is that she just went to sleep she had this huge like space dream. I think
Mhm.
it's like a spatial dream or something, universe dream. And
Yeah.
and I saw like the whole thing, and I can't deny I started crying,
Oh.
and I'm easily emotional. This just like I don't know. This just hits home. I don't know, cause like not only is it like oh gosh, and the thing is that I don't know. Because here's the thing, I do admit there's times where I'm more likely very paranoid of wanting to lay down on the same bed as my parents, mostly my dad, I will admit, um, for whenever I want to fall asleep. So seeing that, it just,
It kind
I
of
don't
hits
know, it
you.
just, yeah,
Oh yeah, I understand.
exactly. So it was like, oh my goodness, thank you. But I do admit though, the thing is that it made me feel called out at the same time though, because like, ah!
You were called out.
I
Ooh.
was called out for a little bit.
Okay.
But
Sorry
aside
for
from that,
switching topics,
okay.
but since we're reading
Actually,
something, go ahead.
actually, one more thing before we kind of leave.
Uh huh.
Owl House, very good show, very good kids show. I say
Yes.
that right now, very good kids show.
Yes.
Anyways,
Please
okay, I'll
sponsor
leave
me,
it alone
please.
now.
No.
Okay, okay. Now I'm done. Now I'm done.
Okay, but okay. Well, since we're reading a Finance at Freddy's book,
Yeah.
I heard it's either gonna come out this year or next year. That live action movie that Scott Cawthon's making.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I am so excited
7
though. I'm not
years
gonna
later.
like like I'm excited, but I'm also scared at the same time to watch that. Wait, what did you say?
It's been so many years.
It's been so many. Oh, I forgot about that.
And
we
and
we
and
we've been waiting for this, haven't we, for a
yes.
long time. It's like there was like the one thing that was talked about but never talked about. Now it's talked about in 2023. Oh my god.
Um.
Okay.
Oh, and Scott
What?
Coffin said it's gonna be like PG-13, so it might actually not be that good.
PG-13. Well,
It, sh-
there
it should
was
have been a
there was
horror movie. It should have been a horror movie.
it. I would have believed for that to be a horror movie as well. To be personally honest with you, I mean, there was already books, there was already games, so why not the movie? And
Oh,
now, then again, I kind of heard a lot of things people said about Chainsaw Man, saying that the anime was too gory. When I was like, too
hey,
gory.
anime can be
I beg your
gory,
pardon.
okay?
I beg your pardon. Too gory? Are you serious?
Seriously though.
We have a lot of films that are in real life. Those are gory.
Oh my
Those look too
goodness.
gory to me. So why don't you do the same thing to those?
Seriously though.
Oh
I
my
mean, like,
gosh.
have they read the Twisted Ones? Like, it's a book of France, but have they read that? That thing is like filled with gore. It's
Exactly.
one of my
What the heck?
favorite ones.
So like I don't. I'm sorry, but that's just me hearing a hypocrite right over here. So no, don't no. No. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. No.
Just no.
No. No, we're not having that today. We're not gonna say that it's too gory because you guys had the exact same films that are as gory as that. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Besides, now that I think about it, that one's more tame. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's more tame, and that's in animation.
Oh yeah.
In
Like
animation.
I'm pretty sure like High School DxD was like a whole lot worse.
Oh God, I did. I forgot about that. I really
Traumatized.
forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. And I think what sucks is that I did see that when I was a kid, so it was like, oh boy, oh boy. Um, and there was like one side that was like, okay, I'm kind of enjoying this, and then there's the other side where it's like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
I don't see the reason to watch this. What is going on? Um, and I grew older, and now I'm looking at myself.
Yep.
Honestly, you need help. Oh my gosh.
You need Jesus.
No, Jesus. No, Jesus, no. I'm good.
Fine then, you need some milk. Fine then, you need some milk.
Yeah, milk sounds much more better. Actually, I do have some milk actually because I'm gonna be eating spicy chips. I'm gonna
Okay.
be eating some spicy chips.
So we should probably get reading into the book. We've already been talking for 17 minutes on here.
Oh, oh yeah, we have, but we're just trying to enjoy ourselves though. That's the thing. We're enjoying
Yeah, that
ourselves for a
is
little bit,
true.
so don't think too much of it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
they can wait. No.
It's
But
all right. It's all right.
oh my
All
goodness.
right.
But yeah, it's been so crazy. Is that a spider web in the corner of my room? It is.
Oh,
I hate spiders.
I
Why did I
don't
have
blame
to
you.
see that?
I don't know. I
But the
really don't
spider
know,
isn't
honestly.
in the spider web, so where did it go?
Oh, oh,
There's
I
just a spider in my room.
that I can't help you. I'm sorry. I can't help you with that one.
Give me a lighter. I'm gonna burn the house down.
Oh gosh. Anyways, I have this set up right now. So
Mhm.
I have it on the stream now. So it's like, yeah, 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 yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So all right,
Yay.
let's go ahead and try and get started.
Yeah, because we're already a little bit behind schedule.
A little bit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
bet. Okay.
Just a little bit. And also, just so you guys know, for the background, yes, I am using this, but the thing is that I'm just gonna be borrowing it until the time being. I unfortunately do not know the artist, so if anybody of you guys are the artist or anything, just please let me know so I can put it in the description. I do not want to be discriminating. Like I said, I'm just trying to borrow so I can try and get through this because you would not want to see a black background. You would not want to
No,
see a
it's not
black
a
background.
black background. Come on. I could have said look into the void. Look into the void.
gosh.
Look
Oh
into the
gosh.
darkness.
Okay, that might have been a little bit loud. I'm so sorry. Oh gosh. Okay. But I got my chips. I got my drinks. Yes. And all right, let's go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Where's get started.
Okay. You want me to start reading first?
Yeah, you go ahead and start reading first. Actually, is it like at the very beginning of where we start? Or?
Yeah. Chapter
Okay.
22. Chapter
Surprise!
22.
Surprise!
Woo!
Excuse me. Wee. Okay.
Your
Let's continue.
your name sat on her bed, with her knees on to her chest. Anything she had she had done to calm herself down didn't help. Her wet hair stuck to her face, and she stared at the door. She had locked it to keep the purple menace out, though she figured if that whack job wandered in here, that lock would do no good. Dozens of thoughts ran through her head. How had he gotten inside? Was there a way around the rules? She had no clue. But she did remember when she was hired, the boss was saying, all of you go. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, wait. I put a script. Wait. Wait. I put a chip in my mouth.
Please do not stab the roof of your mouth with it.
Okay. All of you guys stick together. I'm sure you'll get to know the others soon. They'll be like your big brothers. Bro,
He
I have one
seemed
brother. I don't think I want any more.
he seemed a little worried, but relieved that he had found someone to fill the empty position. Your name was so wrapped up in her thoughts, she hadn't seen Goldie standing there with concern in his eyes. Once teleporting into a room, he was glad to see her alone and safe. He had looked at the door, relieved to see it locked. Glancing at his girlfriend, Goldie examined her closely.
Closely. It's okay.
She seemed, she seemed to have just taken a shower and looked quite frightful. He could see her trembling, and the goosebumps uh, raised on her arms. He gently cleared his throat,
Her throat.
and
It said clear her throat. I looked at it. I was like, mispronounced it a little bit, but it's okay.
I guess Goldie is now a she. And before she could scream, he quietly covered her mouth. She began to thrash, baby! Oh,
Baby.
he
Sorry.
whispered, yelled.
Shh. It's just me.
Your name's eyes met his blue ones. Once she noticed who it was, she calmed instantly.
Goldie, what are you doing here?
She asked softly, nearly instantly clinging to him. He held her close to him and sighed in relief.
Frizz told me I had to make sure you were okay.
Goldie still spoke in a whisper, and your name figured it was best that Vincent didn't know that Goldie was here. He pulled away.
He didn't hurt you, did he?
Your name shook her head. Maybe it was best that she'd not tell him about Vincent slamming her into the wall. Goldie seemed to believe her and breathed out in relief.
I'm going to stay here with you. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh, spice. The spice. Anyways. But remember the last time? You almost hurt yourself trying to stay here.
Your name protested. She wanted him to stay, but was concerned for his well-being. Goldie frowned. She was right, and he still had not rested properly from showing her his memories. He only had a limited amount of time here.
be okay.
She whispered softly, stroking his cheek. She had noticed his dilemma. Goldie sighed softly. He took her hands in his own and kissed them.
Whoop, whoop. Excuse me. Okay, okay. Sorry, sorry. I'm going to say. Oh wait, no, I messed up already. My bad. Let me just. Okay. I'm going to at least stay until you fall asleep.
He was determined, and she could see that. She smiled softly at him, and he helped her get into bed. Sitting beside her, he brushed a few damp strands of hair out of her face.
Thank you, Goldie.
She whispered. Now that he was here, she felt safe. He began softly singing to her, and before she knew it, sleep overtook her. Goldie waited a few more minutes, making sure her breath was even and she was in a deep sleep. Glancing to her phone, he set an alarm for her. Setting her phone down, he remembered what he had done to poor Fritz's phone. Perhaps when he got back he should apologize. Goldie leaned down and kissed her forehead softly.
I love you, Yin. Please stay safe.
He whispered. He stood as he felt the last bits of energy draining. He wouldn't get to apologize to Fritz today after all. With a sigh, he teleported away. Vincent sat downstairs as time slowly went by. He had done some exploring around the place while the female upstairs was asleep. He had found some old pictures of the girl with another man. By the pictures, he had figured that the male was a former boyfriend. Making his way back to the couch, he sat down with a sigh. Part of him felt bad for intruding on the girl's life, but it wasn't like he was already planning to find out why the animatronics were so,
Enamored.
thank you, enamored with her. This was the
You're
best
welcome.
case scenario, though he already missed the comforts of home. As hours ticked by, he tried to brainstorm why she had lived so long. He only had he had only come up with two, and they went together. She was the first female night guard, and she was quite the looker. Vincent
Ugly.
glanced at a nearby photo and smirked, and a smirk spread across his face. Quite the looker indeed.
That gave me anxiety. When I read that, that gave me anxiety. Oh my gosh. Okay. 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 So, next part?
Yes.
Okay, next part.
Chapter 23, Weirdo.
Weirdo. Anyways. Waldo. Waldo. What the? No. Well. Ah!
Where's Waldo?
No!
But in this case, where's Vincent?
I know! Wait, what? No! 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 I'm just gonna have a chip, okay?
Okay. I don't think there's any dialogue for a little bit, so.
Okay.
Your name.
So,
Oh,
wait.
your name awoke at the sound
What's
of
up?
her alarm. She sat up and put her hand over her heart. She honestly, had not remembered setting the alarm. Goldie must have set it. She wondered aloud. She would have to ask him dressing into her uniform. She sighed. She honestly hated this thing. The fabric was stiff, and honestly, if she wanted to wear normal clothes, she doubted that the owner would care. Perhaps she would wait long enough in the morning to ask. As she exited her bathroom, a knock on her bedroom door made her nearly jump out of her skin. Hey,
Food's ready.
Vincent said on the other side. Your name froze, recalling the kids happily eating cake before meeting their untimely demise. There was no way she would be eating. However, she was quite curious on what it was he even made.
honestly, I would be scared to death if I ever ate anything that somebody that could be potentially be a perpetrator would eat. And I think what sucks is that there was like a lot of fan art of this specific person, regardless if it was like realistically or if it was just from the fandom. But like, oh man, like I like the fan art, but I'm scared of him at the same time. Anyways,
Well, like the most fake.
yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Making
Let's go.
making her way downstairs, she slowly walked into the kitchen. She was unsure what she would see. Vincent sat at the table softly, munching on toast with some grape jelly. Staring at the plate, she sat down at her seat.
Aren't you going to eat?
He asked, taking another bite of his toast. Yearning looked down at the plate and hesitated. A,
It's
a
okay.
disgruntled sigh came across the table. Vincent walked over to her, picked up her toast, and ripped a small piece off and ate it. He walked back to his seat and sat down.
Not poisoned. I'm sorry, sir, but like, of course I'm gonna be scared if it's gonna be poison or not.
I love how we just
Eh,
like I love how we just like came over there, took a piece off of it, and just ate it with like just.
like, I will admit that, like, the one thing I'm glad about is that he ate it first before we did, even though I do admit it was kind of rude.
Imagine if he dies like straight after he ate it, he just like fell to the floor.
The freaking Peter collapse death thing. I don't know. I don't know. Man. Anyways, you go ahead and continue. Go ahead and continue.
Your name felt slightly bad after all. He had went through the trouble. Picking up the piece of toast, she slowly and silently began to eat. They ate in silence, a comfortable silence for Vincent, and an awkward one for your name. After finishing her meal, she picked up her plate. Vincent had also finished his, so out of habit she picked up his. Vincent blinked in surprise, watching after the hair-colored girl. His cheeks flushed slightly at the nice gesture.
uh, Thanks.
Vincent said. Your name blinked, not expecting him to be polite. After all, even Marcus rarely said it. Your name smiled politely at him, figuring if he was going to stay, she could at least be civil. That didn't, that did not mean she had to like him.
No problem. Thank you for the food.
She said, turning back and continuing to wash the two dishes. Glancing at the clock, it was time for her to head out.
I'll see you later.
Your name said with a wave as she quickly left. Once at the pizzeria, she felt relieved. She was far away from Vincent. Getting out of her car, she walked into the pizzeria. Oh, excuse me. Chica
You're again.
brightened up upon seeing her.
Yin, you're here. I missed you.
As the girl flung her arms around your name.
Hey, Chica. Boys treating you kindly?
Your name asked, ruffling the female animatronic's hair. Chica rolled her eyes.
Freddy is a gentleman as always, but of course Foxy and Bonnie like to tease me too much. Freddy is scolding them right now. I had to wash my hair a few hours ago because Bonnie thought I would be funny to dump a milkshake on my head, and Foxy teased me about it. Naturally, Freddy was furious,
Chica smiled.
but I love them all nonetheless.
She hummed. Your name smiled.
Have you seen Goldie?
Your name asked after some more idle girl chatter. And Chica shook her head. Your name figured he must be tired, so after bidding Chica goodbye and promised to come find her later, she went to the office. Once in the office, it wasn't long before Goldie appeared. He looked exhausted. Your name felt bad,
Are you alright?
Goldie asked, examining her. Your name nodded, and Goldie hugged her.
I'm still a little weirded out about the situation.
She spoke truthfully as Goldie nodded. He led her back out of the office once her stuff was put on the desk. They went to join the others, and Freddy, Bonnie, and Foxy were back. They all chatted, catching up on the past events of the day. After several warnings from the others, Chica suddenly brightened up.
Yeah, do you want to go make pizza with me?
Chica looked so excited, and Goldie looked like he needed rest.
Sure, I'll meet you in the kitchen.
Your name smiled brightly at her, and Chica left with an exciting squeal. Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna say, it's still your turn.
again, your name walked over to Goldie and smiled softly at him.
Go get some rest, okay? You look exhausted. Everything is fine, okay?
Goldie nodded, leaning down and kissed her gently.
Love you, Goldie. I'll see you after a while. I love you too.
Goldie said softly as he watched her walk away to join Chica. When are you gonna
You
bang
won't even
her?
want to say this. Oh my gosh. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Do you want to say or do you want me to say it?
When are you going to bang her?
Fritz's words echoed inside of his head. His cheeks turned a vibrant red, and he had never smacked himself so hard. Bonnie, who was watching with mild amusement now, was laughing, nearly crying from laughing so hard.
Shut up, rabbit.
Goldie mumbled before teleporting away. So, when are you gonna bang her?
No! Oh my god! No! I'm just gonna go ahead and like have another chip real quick. Hold up. Like, what the frick? Okay, 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 okay. Wait.
Okay.
There you are. Ah.
Chapter 24 Sweet Dreams. Goldie fingers drummed against the table. Your name and Chica has been in the kitchen for hours. It was nearly 4 and Goldie was feeling impatient. Freddy and Bonnie sat to his left and Foxy was messing around with one of the arcade games. Watching Foxy distracted him from his thoughts for a moment, and he smiled fondly. When Foxy was truly human, he loved the arcade games as much as he did now. He was glad he was able to keep some of his childish nature. And same goes for Bonnie and his prankster nature. However, Freddie and him had always been mature for their age, as they were older than the others. Chica was still the same, more mature than Bonnie and Foxy, but still quite childish. He glanced at Freddie, who seemed just as impatient. He smirked. His brother had always been in love with the blonde-haired girl, even when they were alive. Goldie frowned. He wondered why his brother had still yet to confess. After all, it was quite obvious they both liked each other. His thoughts were distracted as the sound of the kitchen doors opening sounded through the quiet pizzeria. Goldie glanced up and his eyes landed on your name. She wore a gold and black maid costume. Oh my goodness.
Do
It
you need to take
reminded
a
him
breather?
of his own theme colors. His his cheeks flared and his heart. Yes,
Yes, his heart.
yes, his heart began hammering like crazy in his chest. He was completely shocked, his mouth wide open. He was fairly sure his brothers was having the same reaction towards Chica as Bonnie laughed. You gotta, you.
You both
Oh,
are gonna catch you. You both are gonna catch flies on your mouth.
Bonnie snorted, and Your Name smiled shyly at Goldie, delivering Bonnie's pizza to him as she quickly made her way to Goldie. When she got closer, when she got closer to him, it was only then that Goldie realized how short the skirt of the dress was. He nearly passed out. Okay. Remembering the other males, he glanced to see Bonnie and Foxy gawking at her. Your Name looked innocent at him, and Goldie had to resist throwing his suit and jacket off and blocking her from their view.
Oh man, yeah, that's gonna feel weird for a little bit. Oh boy. Pardon me, pardon me. Okay, I shall continue. I shall continue. I made your favorite, Goldie.
Your Name's sweet voice spoke, oblivious to the thoughts swirling in Goldie's head. He gulped, feeling very hot.
I hope you don't mind sharing with me.
She continued.
Of course. How about we go somewhere else more private?
Goldie was losing his composure and quickly. Your Name smiled and nodded. Goldie quickly led her away to the office. He was nearly overwhelmed with all the feelings he was feeling. Once into the office, Your Name sat down the pizza, walked to the door switch, pressed it down. He watched her in a trance. His head was spinning. He was unsure what was going on. Once the doors were both closed, she made her way to Goldie. A flirtatious smirk made its way onto her lips. Goldie held his breath and she wrapped her arms around his neck. My goodness.
Oh boy.
I gotta.
I,
Okay, you gotta. She stood on her tippy toes and kissed him. Goldie brung her close, deepening the kiss. Soon the kiss turned passionate, and he felt like he was on cloud nine, licking her lower lips. Your Name
Oblige.
obliged, opening her mouth. His tongue slid in, and they began dancing for dominance.
Oh my
Goldie
god.
quickly. Oh my god, what am I reading? Instant
Oh my
regret.
god.
This is what
What
instant
the heck?
regret feels like. Goldie quickly won, wrapping his arms around her waist and bringing her up. Goldie wrapped her legs around his waist, and Goldie felt things heating up very quickly.
Wait, do you mean she wrapped her legs around his
Oh my
waist? I feel like you kind of said a little bit something
god.
along the lines of like, wait a minute. Didn't you say he won though?
He felt her shudder as he ran his hands up and down her sides. Your Name hands reached into his bow tie, untying it, never breaking the kiss.
I O I. Ah! Wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. Okay. Oh, wait. Goldie, wake up.
Goldie shot up, his breathing harsh and his face red. Looking up at Your Name, he held his breath.
Are you okay?
She was staring at him with worried expression. It was a dream. He had forgotten after his failed attempt to rest. He had teleported back to the dining area. Gulping, he nodded.
Well, anyways, I made your favorite pizza. Should we go somewhere more private?
She asked, glancing at Bonnie, who threw a piece of pizza at Foxy. Goldie nodded and took the pizza. Once in the office, they sat and ate. Goldie was fine with this, but his mind kept returning to the dream he had. Your name seemed oblivious to his issue as she happily chatted with him. Goldie swore the next time he saw Fritz, he was going to kill him. He didn't mind thinking of your name like this, but he had never actually thought of her that way. At least yet.
It's getting hot in here. Think I'm wearing a glove. That's just how it felt to me for a minute. I'm sorry, but what the frick?
Hey, I thought it was actually gonna keep on going.
I thought the same thing.
No more instant regret.
No, no more instant regret.
And now it's instant relief.
Instant relief.
Okay.
Okay.
Chapter
You're able to.
25.
Okay, that's a yes then. Okay.
Challenge accepted.
Oh God, what's this about?
Once out of
Pardon
the
me. There's a
car.
challenge.
There's a what?
Pardon me. It's just. Whenever there's a thing called challenge accepted, it's either that it's gonna be going really, really good or really, really bad. One of those two.
Yes.
I'd be
Once out
surprised
of
if there's a middle.
I don't even know. You never
I
know.
don't know either. Anyway,
Oh, excuse me.
you. Oh, you're okay. You go ahead. You go ahead. I've been interrupting.
Once out of the car, your name stepped out. Glancing at her house, she wielded the what? Oh, she wielded it. She wielded it to catch on fire, effectively trapping the man inside. Sure, your name was going to be civil, but that did not mean she was going to enjoy his company. With a frustrated sigh, she headed inside. Once inside, she found out the man was sleeping, snoring softly. Her glance slowly softened. He looked quite innocent. As she was about to head upstairs, she stopped. Glancing at the time, biting her lip, she sighed in defeat and headed into the kitchen. Making Vincent's breakfast didn't take long at all. Soon the steaming hot plate of bacon, eggs, and toast sat there.
I'm not gonna lie, the bacon does sound good.
It does, though.
Yeah. Anyways. Vincent.
She called out, glancing at the time. He would have just enough time to eat, get ready, and leave. She didn't want it being her fault somehow if he ended up to work late since he was staying with her. Plus, she figured she could repay his kindness. Vincent made his way into the kitchen, rubbing the sleep out of his eyes. Gargly, he glanced up at your name. Vincent nearly had to do a double take and rub his eyes. He would nearly forgotten he wasn't at his own home, and he had forgotten about the beautiful girl he was now staying with.
Your breakfast is ready. You don't have too much time before work,
She said, turning and making her way to the coffee pot.
How do you like your coffee?
She asked, opening the cupboard and getting coffee mug down. It was purple. How fitting. Vincent slowly made his way to the table and sat down.
Black. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just like the way you said it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll take that. I'll take that. I take. Okay. Black. Sorry.
Hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead before I embarrass myself even more.
No. No.
Please.
Okay. He said as if he was a little kid in awe.
All right, one black coffee coming up.
Your name said, rolling her eyes to herself. Black, of course he would drink it this way. Bitter coffee for a bitter man, she thought as she poured the black coffee into a mug and gave it to him.
Thank you, Yin. I appreciate it.
He looked, looking down at his plate. Your name looked up at him in surprise, not expecting a thank you, but she couldn't help but smile at what she saw. Vincent looked like a shy, kicked puppy.
Uh, no problem. I have to get some rest. Have a good shift.
Your name said as she headed upstairs, slowly starting to feel sick as the invasive thoughts came. Vincent was a child murderer, and he worked at the same place he had brutally murdered her friends. How he managed to keep his job, she would never know. Closing her door and locking it, she stripped her clothes off.
Oh.
She honestly,
I was not prepared for that. Sorry.
she honestly had not felt like changing, so she crawled into bed in her tank top she wore underneath her uniform and her underwear. Pulling the thick and very comfortable comforter over her body, she sighed in relief. The night had been a good one, and she enjoyed Goldie's company. He seemed a little off and shy, but your name dismissed it as him being tired. She hoped he would get plenty of rest that day so he would feel like normal. Vincent had finished breakfast and coffee. He used the downstairs bathroom to quickly shower and get ready. He was unsure to feel about what had just transpired about 20 minutes ago. It made him feel almost normal. He couldn't help but wonder was if that was what it was like to have a wife to take care of you. Of course, he figured more romantic things would be involved, but even so, Vincent had not been in a relationship prior to all at all anyways.
At all.
He had never seen the point in such trivial things, but now he found himself craving it as he was unsure why. Vincent came home and
Mm, eh,
he's getting
scared.
addicted.
No, I'm scared. Oh no. Oh no. No. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, he's getting addicted.
Oh god. I think
Vincent
that
came.
I really hope that was just a simple crush feeling and not the little what I hope to be. Anyways.
Hopefully he doesn't become obsessed.
Hopefully it doesn't become obsessed. That's all I'm hoping for. He does not become obsessed.
Vincent came home and sighed. He was exhausted. Scott had taken the cameras that day, and Vincent had to wrestle with the crazy children. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're okay.
It
I
didn't
was about to
help.
say something else.
You're excused.
I was about to say it again. I was about to say it again. I had to stop myself for a minute.
Okay. It didn't help that it didn't it didn't help he had the animatronics breathing down his neck, but at least his shift went by quickly. Looking at the clock, he decided your name wouldn't have to be awake for a few more hours. This gave him plenty of time to make dinner. Vincent made his way to the kitchen and looked around. He decided on meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and dinner rolls. The man often lived on toast for convenience, but when he wanted a real meal, the guy could cook. Peeling the potatoes, a small smile made his way to his face. He was actually excited to have company during a meal for once. Your name awoke to someone knocking on her bedroom door. She groaned and glanced at the clock. She had a few hours before she had to be at the pizzeria. She threw on some purple sweatpants that used to belong to Marcus. They were large and comfy, and she had claimed them a few years back. With a sigh, she opened her door.
Yes.
She asked, still half asleep. Vincent smirked slightly at her.
Good
Of
evening, Sleeping
course.
Beauty.
Sorry.
Dinner is ready. Oh, you're okay. Wait, what would you want to say before I start saying anything?
Of
Or
course it had to be purple.
Of course, it had to be purple. Anyways, okay. Okay. I need to stop. Focus. Good evening, Sleeping Beauty. Dinner is ready. I figured you probably need a proper meal for.
Vincent smiled. Your name blinked as a delicious smell hit her. She glanced at him. He hadn't poisoned her last meal, and he had been fairly proper except for when she first saw him in her house. Biting her lip, she watched him turn, motioning her to follow him. She thought about going back to bed, but her stomach growled. Your name hung her head in defeat and followed him. They made their way downstairs, and Your Name made a face realizing they awkwardly matched. However, her thoughts were distracted when she saw the feast spread on the dinner room table. Vincent had even begun making her plate. She stood there frozen in shock. He set her plate down and grinned at her.
Enjoy.
He said, Your Name knew she shouldn't trust it, but it looked so delicious. Before she knew it, she was chowing down, making happy little sounds as she ate. Vincent watched her with a smile on his face. She was truly adorable, or so he thought. Looking down at his own plate, he felt happy someone liked his cooking. She was the first one to try it. Once their meal was done, they both put it away for leftovers and did dishes. It was retel- it was
Relatively.
thank you. My brain did not want to work.
You're welcome. It's okay.
Retell of the It was comfortable silence for both of them.
Okay. It's all good. It's
Your
all good.
again, Your Name washed the dishes and Vincent rinsed and drained them. Once their work was done, Your Name went upstairs to get ready for work. While she showered, she had time to process her time during dinner. Vincent had been very polite and cooked large meals. As she was washing her hair, a thought sprung into her mind. Is he trying to one-up me? I made him a big breakfast and now he made me a literal feast? Her eyes narrowed at her conditioner. She was not gonna let that man win. Challenge accepted, Toast Man.
Oh man. Okay. I, I, I. Ugh. I would have thought otherwise, but okay, fair enough for this one.
Hello,
Who was it that
Colton.
fell?
I'm
Oh
glad to
man.
see that you texted. How are you doing?
Ooh.
Colton said hello, and then he also said, Why is this going sexual?
Hi. Excuse the whole entire thing. Like me and freaking Honey Blossom Plan. We are just planning on doing this whole entire like reading through fan fiction and everything. And the reason why you may seem that way is not because we read through it. It was like a whole dream fit. That was all. It was a whole dream fit. That was all. Like basically like lucid dreams. Is it called lucid dreams? Something like that. Lucid dreams, probably. I don't know.
No, it's called a sexual dream.
I forgot.
But
Dream. Anyways.
Colton, Colton said good, and you? How you doing today? You having
I'm
a good
doing
day?
good. Yes,
I'm
I'm
doing
having a
good
good
too.
day. Thank you. Thank you. Oh gosh,
Um,
we're doing pretty alright actually. And soon after, we're kind of thinking about like switching over to like whenever me and her could
we
play like certain games. We're still working on which games to play, but like we're just gonna go through this before we start putting it into this.
okay.
I don't know.
Give me 1 second. My cat is literally trying to crawl underneath the door, and it's freaking me out.
Oh, okay.
Like literally, she literally looks like one of the nightmare animatronics trying to get into the door. Like his paws are literally scratching at the carpet.
Oh my god.
He is not a
Oh my
happy
god.
camper.
He is not happy. He is not happy. And oh yeah, we haven't cussed, so I don't think we're gonna get demonetized because of that in the video. Yeah,
Hopefully not.
probably. I don't know. And even though I could curse, I'm still very, very freaking paranoid. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Don't eat my cookies. He tried to take a bite of one of my cookies.
I was eating a chip and then you said you took one of my cookies. I was like, what? Wait a minute. No, I'm eating the chip, not the cookie. Not the cookie. I ate the chip, not the cookie. But I should have forgot you were probably talking to somebody else, not me.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my goodness. We're just having the time of our lives right now.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm putting the bag on. Just
Okay. You ready?
sorry for the rappers, everybody. I'm just trying to put this away.
Okay. Okay. Chapter 26 Pranks.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh my goodness. Your name headed downstairs to leave for work. As she entered the living room, she saw Vincent was getting settled on the couch. Looking up to meet her, he flashed her a small smile. Oh my goodness, excuse me.
You're good. You're good. Have a good night at work. Be safe.
Vincent waved, and still acting slightly nonchalant, he had started to wonder about the girl, which he had been curious to begin with, but something about her drew him to her. He wondered if it was the same reason the animatronics seemed to spare her, though he knew how they could be, and he did not doubt they would not turn on her. After all, he had seen this before. Your name stopped at the door, her hands on the handle. She seemed to fight with herself. Turning towards him, her face was red.
Thanks for the food.
She said before quickly leaving. Vincent felt a smirk coming upon his face, which, watching her leave, everything was going smoothly, and he figured she would be much more hard-headed about everything. Your name was too sweet for her own good. Your name practically ran to the car, her face flushed in anger at herself for thanking him. Vincent was supposed to be a monster, but he seemed so normal. She was having trouble keeping in touch with the reality of the situation. Running a hand through her hair, she let out a cry of frustration. She was feeling very overwhelmed. Goldie paced the floor. Your name wasn't late. It was just the poor guy had been anxious all day. He was unable to keep an eye on her because he had exhausted himself. It would be a while before he could teleport and check on her throughout the day. He hoped Vincent would shove off soon and your name could move closer. He missed her and worried about her throughout the day. After all, anything could happen to her and would be helpless to care for her. Hearing the doors of the pizzeria open, Goldie spun around. His eyes met his girlfriend's, and he had smiled brightly at her. Goldie let out a breath of relief. He had not even known he had been holding. The smaller girl practically jumped into his arms.
I missed you today.
She said happily, hugging him tightly. Goldie smiled, hugging her close.
I missed you too. Is he still there?
Goldie asked as they pulled apart, his eyes darkening slightly. Your name nodded.
Yes, but tonight was weird. He made me dinner. It was very unexpected.
She said, remembering the delicious meal. Her mouth almost watered at the thought of it. Despite everything, she had to admit he was an excellent cook.
He what? Yin. He could have poisoned it.
Goldie said, gripping her slightly tighter but not enough to hurt her. He hadn't even thought about his words for a moment.
You don't know him like we do.
She could tell he was afraid for her. She could see it in his blue eyes. Your name tucked a strand of hair behind her ear.
Goldie, honey, you are right. I don't know him like you do. I can't imagine what you are feeling. However, he is staying with me. I, for some reason, have no say in it. I'm trying to maintain peace so nothing does happen.
She said, rubbing his arm smoothly. Goldie frowned, but she continued.
Besides, if I end up dead, many people would know he is staying with me. If something were to happen, they would know his business. What if it isn't enough?
Goldie whispered. Your name smiled softly and reassured reassuringly at him.
Reassuringly.
Mhm.
Ye-
Ye-
It, it will be. If it isn't, he is not as smart as we think.
Your name laughed softly, leaning up and kissed him softly. Goldie kissed back, knowing she was right. Currently, there was nothing they could do. He pulled back and she shook his hand. Glancing over near the stage, she saw Freddy instantly reading a book. Chico was nowhere to be found, though when she heard the rustling of pots and pans, she knew where the blonde girl was. Looking towards the arcade, Foxy was intently smashing buttons, focused on the game he was playing. When her eyes landed on Bonnie, though, she sighed. His devilish smile was aimed towards Freddy, and there was no telling what the purple-haired rabbit had in mind. Her name wasn't up for dealing with his antics, so she pulled Goldie into the office. Once in the office, your name... I wonder what he has planned.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually curious what does he have planned.
Once in the office, your name sat in the desk, and Goldie sat on the desk. And this was their usual spots. Goldie seemed deep in thought, and he suddenly sighed sadly.
I'm really glad you became the night guard,
He said, and your name was about to reply when he continued.
but I sometimes wish you hadn't. He is our burden to bear, not yours.
Your name listened intently and nodded her head in understanding.
I can understand that. However, I would rather have met you than not know you. Even if it means Vincent killing.
Your name replied honestly. Goldie was flattered, but he hated it nonetheless.
I'd rather you not die at all.
Goldie said, taking off his hat and setting it beside the table.
Well, if I'm being honest, I might have died anyways. You saw that Marcus was going to get rid of me.
You wanna know what I would have done? Sorry. With his hat.
I think he would have took it and probably wore it the rest of the freaking day, either a day
Yes.
or a week.
I'll be like, oh, this is mine now.
I mean, then again, thinking about it, I probably would have put it on and just be like, "This is mine now. Bye."
Yes.
Practically maybe like stealing it without realizing. Then again, I probably would have given it kind of. Well,
I don't know why,
anyways,
but I love stealing hats. I'll just like steal all the hats.
steal all the hats.
Yes.
We steal all the hats. Whoa. Anyways,
Okay. Your name shuddered at the memories of the night his life ended. In a lot of ways, she still felt bad, but in others, she was glad. She'd not have to ever deal with him again.
I don't want to die either.
She added before continuing.
But we don't even know if that is what Vincent is planning. And trust me, regardless, I don't want a grape in my house.
Goldie practically,
Oh, grape. Grape. Pardon me. Whenever I said grape, I was like, wait, what?
like,
Grape.
what?
Oh, never mind. Grape. You're talking about like a natural grape color. Never mind.
Yep. Goldie practically nearly snorted at the joke aimed to cheer him up. In all honesty, it had.
Well, neither do I.
He said, trying not to sound amused, but failed miserably. Your name smiled brightly at him, and his stomach fluttered. He watched her flip through the cameras, and he got lost in thought watching her. Her eyes instantly looked through the cameras, making sure nothing was astray in the pizzeria. Goldie began to feel helpless again, unable to help her much outside the pizzeria. He would have to wait for Vincent to slip up. After all, it was only a matter of time. He had barely made it out alive last time. Suddenly, your eyes named widened in alarm and then squinted. Goldie hopped off the desk and glanced over his shoulder.
What is he doing?
Your name muttered, watching Bonnie. Goldie tilted his head, watching Bonnie carry a bucket of water from the bathrooms and walking down the hall. Bonnie hated cleaning, so Goldie assumed it was for one of his pranks. Goldie was wondering who the target was, but he didn't have to wonder long as he entered through the door that led to the show stage.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
this
no.
is
Oh no. Oh, dude. That's the last person you want to freaking do a prank with. I don't know about that. I
oh,
don't know about
mm,
it.
Freddy.
Mm,
Mm,
mm, mm,
um,
mm.
Bonnie,
Oh, oh, Bonnie, you idiot! I swear to
you
God,
you royally effed
you
up.
royally messed up. You royally effed up.
Like there is no going back.
There ain't no going back.
Okay, where were we? Okay.
um,
Your name flipped the cameras to the show stage, and Bonnie slowly creeped up on Freddy. Bad idea, Bonnie, Freddy thought. His brother would practically end the rabbit. Freddy was peacefully reading a book, unaware of his book's impending doom. Neither your name or Goldie could warn him. Then it happened. Bonnie dumped a large bucket of water on Freddy. Time seemed to slow as the water gushed over Freddy, knocking his hat off and soaking him and the book. The book was undoubtedly ruined. Freddy's
oh, not
face.
the book! Not the book!
To be honest, it
Oh,
to be honest, the book was probably hentai, so it was probably fine.
I don't know about hentai, honestly. I think this guy would just like read books, something of like certain fairy tales they would love to read. And besides, I don't know about like reading through that while at a restaurant is a good idea either.
Hey, okay. It's no children around. It's empty. It's okay.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, either way, I kind of thought something else.
Imagine if a kid found that.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of problems then.
Okay. The book was undoubtedly ruined. Freddy's face morphed into one of shock before twisting into anger.
Oh.
Goldie muttered.
Do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Bonnie!
As you cut out halfway through it, it knew what you were doing.
I guess as it should.
Okay. Freddy's
I'm
voice
sorry.
roared. Like literally, at the end of it, it literally cut out. It was like, no, we are not doing with that. Okay.
Go ahead,
Mhm.
go ahead.
We dying in the background. Oh, War Bunny says I am back. Welcome back, War Bunny.
Welcome back. You missed a very funny thing, or so I think it is. Anyway.
Freddy's voice roared, echoing throughout the pizzeria. Just the sound of Freddy's voice gave away the bunny, what was now definitely dead meat. Bonnie squealed and bolted, and before either of the two in the office could react, the mail was inside the office with both of them. Bonnie quickly slammed both the doors down, and sighed in relief.
Hey, you're not dragging us down with you.
Your name's Squeal, jumping out of her seat and pointing at him. Bonnie flashed a grin. He knew Freddy couldn't get into the office.
Those doors won't stay down forever.
A voice growled menacingly from their left, and your name felt shivers go down her spine. She had never actually seen Freddy this way, though she knew what they were all capable of. Glancing to the power gauge at the time, Bonnie gulped. It was 3 in the morning and they only had 75% of power left. Having both doors down drained their power significantly quicker, and they all knew it.
Don't worry.
Goldie chuckled, sitting in the chair and pulling your name onto his lap.
I won't let the mean old bear get you. However, you deserve whatever he has planned.
Bonnie gulped and laughed nervously, awaiting his impending doom.
That's all on you, Bonnie. That's all on you.
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Impending doom is for Barbara.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, that was funny though. I do admit that was funny though.
I love how it just cuts off halfway through it. Just like, no, we ain't dealing with this.
I don't think like my mic caught that either because I kind of looked up and it looked like the volume was like sort of turned down there. I was like, oh, that's bad.
Okay. So, chapter 27, Heartbreak.
Oh no.
The night had gone very smoothly after the power ran out, and Bonnie got his punishment. Everyone gathered and played hide and seek except Bonnie. He was in timeout, as Freddy called it. Goldie seemed Goldie seemed to be the master at hide and seek, effectively winning each and every round. Your name wasn't sure if she was going to even be able to play as she did not have their abilities to see in the dark. Freddie had been kind to give her a flashlight, though. It was hard for her to find them because they could see her coming. When 6 hit and the lights came back on, she bid her goodbyes. Freddy walked her to the door, and they held each other for a long moment.
Please, be safe.
Goldie whispered softly as he kissed the top of her head. Your name nodded,
Promise. Love you.
she said as she kissed him. With the wave, the hair-colored girl went to her car. She couldn't wait to come back. Each day she spent with Goldie only made her more eager to see him. Vincent sat on the couch, glanced at the clock, his brows fur- furrowed. He was beginning to grow worried. Your name's shift ended a few hours ago. He tried to dismiss it. After all, she might have went to go get groceries. They had food still, but they were running low on some supplies. But he couldn't help but feel that something had happened. He hoped that the animatronics hadn't gotten her. After all, he really wanted to get to know her a little more. He sighed in frustration. He could not be caring one bit. His phone ringing startled him. Groaning, he looked at the caller ID. His blood ran cold. It was Scott, and Scott never called. He picked up the phone.
Hello? Yeah. Why?
Vincent listened closely. Jumping to his feet, he grabbed his keys and was rushing to the door.
Got it. I'm on the way.
Oh, I remember this part. Oh, I hated this.
You remember this part? Wait, what? What? Oh,
You're,
the.
you're gonna
Do
hate
you
it.
want me to read this? Do you want me to read this instead?
I got this.
You sure?
But because I know you're going to be dying on the inside.
Dying on the inside. Oh, is it really that bad? Oh gosh. Okay.
Your name got into her car, humming happily. She was quite in a good mood, and her mind wandered to Vincent. That was right. She had to make him a good breakfast. She decided on an omelet and waffles. Knowing he didn't have to work
Waffles.
today, he could enjoy the bigger breakfast. Your name thought for a moment. They were out of some things, and she definitely needed the ingredients to make the homemade waffles. Hoping Vincent would sleep in, she headed to the store. Once she got there, she gathered a few items and checked out. Once the car was loaded, she began the drive home. She was a few miles away, standing at a red light at a four-way intersection. Her fingers tapped impatiently at the steering wheel, and the light finally flashed green. Pressing on the gas, she had entered the middle of the intersection when she heard screeching tires. Whipping her head, she looked to her left. She barely had time to register the large truck slamming into her driver's side door. The sound of crunching metal and shattering glass was all she heard as everything went black. Vincent practically ran to the hospital. He made his way to the front desk.
Yefin, Yelin. Where is she?
Vincent was out of breath. As the nurse typed in the name, her smiling face quickly turned in one of sympathy.
I'm sorry, sir. She is currently in surgery. If you go into the second floor left wing, you'll find the waiting room. I'll let the surgeon know you are here.
She said as she picked up the phone. Vincent didn't even say thank you before bolting upstairs. He did not have time for the elevator. He ran quickly ran up them, taking two by two. Being tall, it wasn't very hard for him. And entering the second floor, he made his way to the described waiting room. There he saw Scott and Fritz. That meant Mike had taken the shift. Fritz looked absolutely distraught.
How is she?
Vincent asked, and Scott shook his head.
We don't know. She has been in there for about 30 minutes.
Scott spoke softly, and Vincent forced himself to sit down. Fritz had seemed slightly shocked to see Vincent there, but didn't say anything. Fritz was only thinking of how he was going to manage to tell Goldie, especially should the poor girl die. 5 long, excruciating hours passed before a surgeon walked out. There were several other families, and everyone's eyes turned to him. The man, however, looked at the 3 males and headed towards them. Vincent felt his heart race. The surgeon showed no emotion, so Vincent could not read him.
Would you please follow me?
The male said, leading them down the hallway into a small, nicely decorated room with couches and chairs. Vincent held his breath as he recognized this room. When his mom passed, they brought them into a room like this. They all sat down, and the surgeon said,
Surgery went well.
He said, and Vincent nearly cried out in relief. Fritz, however, had cried out, and Scott breathed out in relief.
She has multiple fractures on the left side of her body. It's going to take a while to heal, and she will probably need around the clock care. You are her brothers, I assume. Practically.
Fritz spoke.
All right. Well, I'm not sure of her current living arrangements, but she'll need someone to stay with her. That's you.
The surgeon said, Sorry.
It's okay. She will be admitted here for a few days to ensure everything goes well. I live with her, so I have no problem with taking care of her.
He finished, glancing at Scott. Scott nodded.
Did we skip the?
What?
I didn't finish the. Oof. Because I thought you were gonna say Vincent spoke, but then the next thing is I heard you say he finished glancing at Scott. Scott, no, I heard that. I was like, wait, what? I got lost a little
Oh.
bit. It's okay. I think they'll manage a little bit at least. It's okay.
Whoops.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll continue. I'll continue. I'll take care of that. Fritz and I will head there now. We will be back once we get everything figured out.
Scott spoke, tapping on the red-haired male's shoulder, signaling to follow. The surgeon nodded and looked at Vincent. He gave him your name's room number and told them they would be bringing her there shortly. Nodding, he decided to drive the short distance to their now shared home, and get some of her stuff. Fritz walked into the pizzeria and into the office. Mike breathed in relief. Breathed in relief.
Everything all right?
He asked. Fritz nodded.
Why don't you take a break? I've got this.
Fritz assured, and Mike nodded. Getting up, the male left to head outside to smoke a cigarette. Fritz grabbed the tablet and flipping through the cameras. He knew this would grab Goldie's attention. The pattern worked, and Goldie appeared.
Fritz, I knew you loved me, but damn, the pizzeria is packed. Ah. I'm sorry, I messed up.
Goldie chuckled, but upon seeing Fritz's face, Goldie became anxious. His friend looked distraught.
What happened?
Goldie asked slowly, unsure if he was truly wanted to hear it.
Goldie, you should sit down.
Fritz spoke softly and carefully. Goldie normally would have argued, but the seriousness in his voice made him listen, and he sat on the desk.
What is it?
Goldie asked, urgency in his voice. Fritz took a deep breath, flipping through his phone before stopping on a picture that made his heart ache. He showed the male. Goldie's eyes widened as he looked at the picture of the twisted vehicle. He felt sick.
Is she?
Goldie felt his eyes begin to burn.
I haven't seen her. Scott grabbed me before I came into. Apparently, a large truck. My God. I'm sorry. Um, ran a red light, struck her door. She spent 6 hours in surgery. The surgeon said she will be fine. Goldie, she won't be able to come here for a while.
Fritz spoke honestly, and Goldie couldn't help stop the tears. He was so distraught, thinking of the pain she could be in. He was relieved she would be okay, but he was also scared that she wouldn't be able to come back. Fritz moved and hugged his friend. It was strange seeing Goldie this way.
She'll be okay, and I'll be taking over night shift. When it when she is doing a little better, I promise I'll bring her here to visit. Okay?
Fritz said, hoping to console his sobbing friend. After a bit of Goldie calmed down and nodded.
Please bring her as soon as you're able.
Goldie spoke.
I I like to be alone.
And he was gone.
My heart.
Just wait till this one. You're gonna be.
My heart. My heart. Oh no.
Yeah, this is the sad part about reading it already, because you know what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
Okay, are you ready for this one?
Probably.
So we have one more after this one, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hate that there's two more books after this.
Two more books after this? What?
Yes, because it ends on a cliffhanger.
Are you serious?
Sorry, sorry for the what you may call it spoilers,
Mm.
but it had to be said.
Oh man. Oh
You're probably thinking, what have you gotten me into?
man. I guess so. Oh
Okay.
man, I gotta prepare. I gotta prepare. I gotta prepare. Um, so I
Okay.
got. Wait, how many chapters did we do in this one?
We got two more left.
Two more left. Oh no.
Yeah, whenever I first read this, I wanted to throw my computer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um.
Chapter 28. Boyfriend?
It was a little funny. But aside from that,
Vincent arrived back at the hospital and made his way towards the room the surgeon had told him. In his hand, he had two large duffel bags, one for his items and one for hers. When asking the nurse, they said it would be about a week before your name would be allowed to go home. Vincent sighed. His plans really took a drastic turn, although that seemed to have happened about 24 hours upon meeting the female. Wait, yeah. Bracing himself as he neared the room, he knocked on the door. No answer. Assuming she was asleep, he entered. Vincent was unsure. Even the most cold of hearts would melt, and his stomach twisted in knots. Your name laid there with many tubes and wires. He looked at the cast on her left leg and her right arm. Her neck also had a supportive brace, and she was very bruised. Setting the bags down beside the recliner, he walked beside her bed. Moving a stray of hair out of her face, he frowned. I told you to be safe. Oh,
it's okay. It's okay. I told you to be safe, idiot.
he sighed, walking to the recliner and bringing it right beside her bed. Vincent propped his legs up and made himself comfortable. He was not sure when she would wake up. A nurse came in not long after he got there. She gave him a sad smile, and Vincent wanted to roll his eyes. He wondered what was going through their heads. Did they really think they were relatives, friends, or lovers? He couldn't tell.
Your girlfriend is very beautiful.
That is why I said you're gonna hate it. The nurses spoke as she checked your name's vitals. Ah, so that was it, Vincent thought.
Thanks. That. Eh,
He mumbled.
No. Wait. No. I just realized what was it? What? Ah! No. 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 Nuh-uh. Not in my house. Not in my house. No.
Wow, so you were telling Vincent no?
Not in this house.
Have you seen the fan art on Pinterest of Vincent?
Not in this house. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't remember where we're at. He mumbled, it was easier than trying to explain himself. And honestly, what she said was true about your name being beautiful. Although she was very beaten up, looking at her face, he saw cuts that were more than likely from shattered glass. She was very lucky to have survived. Vincent was actually shocked when Fritz showed up, the picture of the car. Actually, Fritz had witnessed the wreck on his way to work, and Vincent felt slightly sorry for the young man.
I pulled her out, man. She was covered in blood.
Fritz had spoke. He was very shaken up in his uniform and had been covered too. Vincent had not noticed until a few hours later. A few hours after he had arrived to the hospital.
I thought she was dead. She wasn't breathing, or it felt like it.
Fritz held his hand in his hand, and Scott patted his back.
I'm sure she'll be all right. Yin seems like a tough girl. After all, she is handling night shift just fine.
Scott had said, and something had made Fritz bolt up when he said and run to the bathroom. Scott followed quickly after, and Vincent sat there in his thoughts. What if she doesn't? The nurse spoke, and Vincent had missed it.
I'm sorry, what? She's starting to wake up.
The nurse smiled at him. Vincent practically jumped out of his seat. He was standing beside her in an instant. Her eyes slowly fluttered open, and she looked around. Her eyes landed on a nurse, then to Vincent. Her stare seemed blank and confused.
Where am I?
She spoke hoarse, and the nurse frowned.
Sweetie, do you remember anything that happened?
Your name shook her head. The nurse didn't explain.
Do you know what day it is?
Another head shake.
How about your name?
Your name seemed to pause. Her brows furrowed, and Vincent gulped.
No, I don't know anything.
She said. Vincent pulled out his phone and began texting. He opened a group chat and added Fritz, Mike, and Scott as he typed what was going on. A nurse paged the doctor.
Okay, sweetie, we can get all that figured out shortly. Are you in any pain?
She asked, and once again your name shook her head.
All right, I'll inform the doctor. We will be back in shortly. The man staying with you is your boyfriend. He will be sure that you are taken care of. Lady, no. No. Uh-uh. No. No. No.
Welcome to pain and
No. No.
suffering.
No. No. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No. I regret saying that out of my mouth. No. No. Uh-uh. I'm good. Yeah. No.
Vincent paused and felt himself turning red. He had only said this knowing your name would have scuffed at it, but now she's curiously looking at him.
Oh god, I don't want to say this, but I have to. Okay.
Hi.
I hate it. I hate it. I don't like this at all.
And we still have one more chapter to go after this.
Honestly, after this, I'm ready to play a game at this point. I swear.
We're almost done, okay? Then we can do whatever.
Okay. Okay.
I'll play some. I'll play some funny cat videos. Which
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have to stop the live by then because I don't want to get copyrighted.
Copyright.
Yeah, you know how YouTube become
Oh.
really strict now about that.
Oh. Right. Actually, I think luckily I can do the thing of where I'm probably just like muting the microphone onto this thing so that we don't get copyrighted strike anything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if it came to anything, we can probably just mute the microphone things that are on the laptop, and we'll probably be fine. We can still keep streaming, but we probably have to have our voice muted.
Yeah, just like yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, like, we can always mute the video.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
okay.
yeah, sorry if we start playing videos and then we're starting watching it and you don't hear anything. Unfortunately, we're just gonna do our best not to get copyright strikes. So just please bear with us. Please bear
YouTube
with us.
is a very scary place.
I
God, we're
wouldn't
going
say
back
it's
to the
scary,
90s.
but
You got this. It's just you got this.
okay, okay. Please continue. I want to get through this the best that I can.
She said, looking at the nurse. The nurse checked a few more things before rushing out of the room. Vincent was left there with a confused your name, but she didn't look too bothered. Glancing at her current condition, your name looked to her boyfriend.
I'm sorry.
She said. Vincent stared at her with belittled expression.
Bewildered. Bewildered. There you go.
My brain is.
It's okay. We have those moments. It's all good. It's all good. Actually, now that I think about it, I need to grab some tea
Oh,
because like
okay. War Bunny says, I think that will be a bad idea. I think so too.
I know it's a bad idea, but still, it's better than copyright strike.
I think she's talking about the book. Or I don't know what she's on.
Oh, the story? Yeah, definitely a bad idea.
I think all around it's a bad idea.
Very bad idea.
So you're gonna go grab some more drink?
I already got myself to drink a little.
That's it.
So yeah,
We'll
let's
grab
continue.
Okay. Where were we? Okay. For the okay, wait, again, I gotta get it
Bewildered.
all out of my system.
Bewildered. Actually, spit. Or no, not spit. Do the
Be-
that.
bewildered. There we go.
There we go.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
War Bunny said the YouTube live stream.
The YouTube live stream.
Probably of
Oh,
the
yeah,
videos.
yeah,
Cause you
yeah.
know how
That makes
YouTube
sense.
is. They copyright strike you on everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, you kind of already know how YouTube is with it came to freaking copyright strikes. So unfortunately, it's kind of
Yeah, I got
um
mad because 5 of my videos got copyright strike. I was mad. I was
Wait,
mad.
wait, including like one of the videos that I gave like a small suggestion to play music in the background for?
No, this was whenever I first started my channel a few years back.
Oh, okay.
Like I was still doing fan fiction, but it had like music in the back, and it kept on getting striked. So I stopped doing music in the background.
Mm, that's depressing, Fred.
Okay, but where were
I
we?
think the one thing I'm kind of I think the one thing we can be at least a tiny bit happy about is that we can still use certain musics that is actually free to use and it's no copyright strike or anything.
Even then,
Though
people will still
unfortunately,
copyright strike you. Like they have no mercy.
probably.
They have no mercy.
Yeah, probably. I think luckily there is one thing that I'm certain and happy about is that we won't be copyright struck with certain ones, but yeah, unfortunately there is a majority that might cause that problem. Anyways, eh. Hence why I choose music that doesn't have any lyrics
Yeah,
or people singing at
yeah, I guess,
all.
yeah. Even then, yeah, yeah. People are always like, "Well, I created that beat. You can't steal it." Like it's in like 100 songs by now.
We're not even trying to steal it though. We're just trying to use it as a
Yeah.
way of expressing ourselves in the video. That is it.
Okay.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. Where are we at? Below.
Um,
Uh,
bewildered expression.
then. Okay. Did you already read what he said?
Oh wait, I haven't. I haven't. Wait, I forgot about that. Sorry. Mm. For what? You haven't done anything wrong.
And she smiled weakly at him.
I forgot you. It must be hard for you, but I'm sure you will help me get my memory back.
The more your name spoke, her voice became stronger. Ritz's cheeks were a bright pink at this point.
I'm sorry if I burden you, though. I understand if you want to leave me. Idiot, I'm not going to do that.
Vincent said quickly.
You'll get your memory back and everything will be okay.
Your name smiled and reached over with her good hand. She put it over his, and he wore his. He swore his heart was going to burst out of his chest.
Frick.
Frick! What have I gotten myself into? He thought as Frizz and Scott entered the room. Frizz's eyes immediately wandered to your name is Hannah.
And rolls a brow.
Oh,
Hey,
and Rose,
Yin, how are you feeling? Hey, Yin, how are you feeling?
I can't.
I
Frizz asked, and
insist.
Vincent nearly slapped himself. He had gotten so distracted that he had forgotten to send a message.
Slap his hand. Slap his hand away. Slap his hand away. Sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
Vincent gulped.
Oh, well, she lost all. Actually, about that, she lost all of her memory. What?
Fritz nearly screamed out, but controlled his voice as not to startle the injured girl in his bed. Vincent trusted your name, and she looked up, expectingly at him. It reminded him of an innocent child.
Oh
Stop
no.
looking at me like that, he thought. Usually something like this would, uh, what, okay.
Irk.
Oh, okay. It took me a second.
It's okay, it's okay.
Irk him, but for some unknown reason, the girls messed with his head. Glancing back to the two men, Vincent sighed. Oh, God.
Sweetie, I'll be right back. Oh man, I regret saying that. Ah, ah.
He spoke softly and sweetly to the girl. He was going to have to play along. No sense in confusing the poor girl more. Scott and Fritz's mouths dropped wide open, quickly picking up on what's happening.
I'm just going to explain to your brothers your condition. Okay, I won't go anywhere.
She giggled jokingly. Vincent nearly snorted. The girl must be high on her pain medications. Without a doubt, the anesthesia probably didn't help in doing that. Vincent quickly turned to the two males and pushed them out of the room.
Sweetie?
Frist asked accusingly.
Look, I didn't expect her to freaking lose her memory. The nurse assumed and was too tired to explain. She told her I was her boyfriend.
Vincent said in a harsh whisper.
I'm not trying to take advantage of her.
Scott sighed at this.
No sense in confusing the poor. Hopefully she can regain her memories and knowing in, she'll probably laugh it off. Right?
Scott and asked Fritz, and Frist huffed.
Probably would punch him. I
Fritz,
agree.
yes. Feel like sucker punched right in the face. Fritz spoke bitterly, and Vincent had only wondered why he was acting like this. Then the thought dawned on him that he was all buddy-buddy with the animatronics just like your name. His eyes narrowed at the redhead.
You'll cross that bridge when we get there. If I get punched, so be it.
Vincent hissed, not liking the attitude he was receiving. Scott sighed at the two before walking back into the hospital room. They all spent a few hours together, and the doctor came in. He apologized for being late, explaining he had a lot of patients to talk to. He had also explained that the best way to regain her memory back was to talk, take her to as many familiar places as possible. Once she was well enough to, the doctor also informed them that after looking at tests, your name could go home in a few days. He also warned Vincent that she was probably going to be in a lot of pain, and he would probably have to help her with most basic things, including using the restroom. Vincent nearly wanted to scream, but he only nodded. He had taken care of his
Oh,
mother when she had
man.
gotten ill, so he could manage. Fritz shot him a glare when the doctor told him this, but Vincent ignored him.
Vince. Oh, wait, no, that's not. Okay. Sorry. Vince, I'm sleepy.
The name spoke after the doctor had left. Vincent blushed at his nickname, and Scott snickered. Fritz groaned and stood up. He walked over to your name and sighed.
Get some rest, okay? I'll be here tomorrow morning to check on you. I have to go to work. Let me know if Vince misbehaves. Yeah.
He said sweetly, and your name nodded. Fritz shot Vincent one last glare before leaving. He honestly had to go to work, but he couldn't handle the guilt that was eating at him. He hoped Goldie and your name wouldn't be mad at him for letting this happen. But even Scott suggested it was a bad idea to try to explain that all Vincent was a temporary roommate. Oh god, imagine Goldie's reaction.
He will be dead on the spot. He will
Oh,
be
yes.
dead on the spot. I'm gonna be honest.
I could okay. Have you ever seen that meme of what is it? E- Everybody do the flop. Do you remember that from a few years back?
Everybody do the flop. Oh,
I
oh no.
I could I could see Goldie doing that. She's literally
Oh,
dying and just face planting into the floor.
oh no. Oh my god.
Hmm.
No.
Here's the last chapter of this book. Very sad.
Also, part of me, I just sniffed the inside of the jar and it smells like cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
Why does it smell like cinnamon?
Cinnamon! I have no idea. Cinnamon is a food. Synonym is a word. I swear, I'm turning into Freddy every time I talk.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go take a.
I do that all the time, though. I'm like, I'm trying to say cinnamon, and I'll say like synonym. They're too closely related. We need to change English. Okay. Oh, let me get repositioned without dying. Okay.
Actually, now that I think about it, I need to like rotate my chair for a sec because like I've been kind of sitting crisscross for a little bit, and I need to like turn this chair over for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna turn it again because oh my gosh. Okay. This should, yeah, this should do. I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's continue.
I'm eating a cookie.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to say the title?
Yes, please.
Chapter 29, Breakdown.
Fritz walked into the pizzeria and was met with a few confused looks. Sighing, he made his way to the group. Did your name call in? Oh, I'm so used to just reading it all.
It's okay. Did your name? Or I got so used to hearing you say that I'm starting to say it now. Oh gosh. Ah, okay. Did Yin call in?
Chica asked, bouncing up to the male night guard. Fritz sighed and glanced to Freddy.
Goldie hadn't said anything to any of you.
Fritz asked, and Freddy shook his head.
No, I have not seen him in all day. Or at all today. Whoops. I know that he had been tired from using his powers, but now that I think of it, he is usually here by now.
Freddy said thoughtfully. Fritz sighed, pulling a chair out and sitting down by one of the tables.
Yin will not be here for a while.
Fritz said, looking down at the ground. Unbeknownst to all of them, Freddy had walked into the room.
I didn't have time to tell Goldie the full story, so just listen closely. I was on my way on to work this morning. I pulled up to an intersection and saw Yin waiting at the light as well. Well, her light turned green.
Fritz slowly began to sweat and turn pale, remembering what he saw. Goldie was listening intently and watching him. Fritz had yet to look up to see him, nor would Fritz look at the others. Upon realizing that Fritz had seen it all, he felt bad for leaving his friend. Surely the male must have been needing comfort.
A truck ran a red light going about 50 miles an hour. It hit on her side.
Fritz's hand began to tremble.
It was an awful sight. I just remember my heart dropping into my stomach. I don't even remember jumping out of the car, man. I just ran to her car. The truck was literally in her car, it looked like. I just opened the passenger door and drugged her out. Or drug her. Yeah, I could. Adrenaline, you know.
Fritz put his head in his hands.
There was so much blood, and I really thought she was dead.
All five of the animatronics, excuse me, humans were staring at him in shock. Goldie remembered how the picture had looked, and he felt like he was going to throw up. Goldie backed up and sunk down the wall.
Is she on?
Freddy asked softly, pulling Chica into a protective embrace as the female started to cry.
No.
Fritz shook her head. She made it through surgery. The doctor, no,
You started to realize. It's okay, it's okay. She made it through surgery. The doctor said it was practically a miracle if she only had fractures. He said she would have died in impact.
Fritz gulped, hating what he was about to say.
But something really bad has happened, and I need you all not to freak out.
Fritz said, looking up.
Oh.
It was then he saw Goldie and his eyes widened. Shit. Fritz thought, well, I have to tell him sometime.
Goldie, come here. You are really not going to like this.
Goldie found the strength to stand and walk quickly over. He pulled a chair out beside Fritz. Putting a hand over the red-headed shoulder, he nodded to him.
So, while I was there, Vincent stayed with Yin.
He nearly jumped out of his skin when all the animatronics let out a snarl. Oh God, please don't let them kill me.
Please don't kill them. They just got here. He, she, or they just got here. Don't do this to them. She woke up while I was here, and she lost her memory.
Goldie's mouth dropped.
How much of her memory?
Goldie pressed, and Fritz looked at him with sad eyes.
All of it. But that's not even the worst part. Oh God.
Fritz gulped,
Oh
bracing
no.
himself for what's about to come.
The nurse thought Vincent was Yin's boyfriend.
He watched Goldie's face twist in disgust and anger.
You told him he wasn't, right?
Goldie asked, and Fritz laughed nervously. Goldie clenched his fist tightly, trying to remain calm, but his anger was growing by the second.
That's the thing. Remember, I wasn't there. So when Yin woke up and the nurse told her Vincent was her boyfriend, so she thinks.
He trailed off, and Goldie stood. He grabbed his chair and threw it across the pizzeria. The chair practically shattered when it hit the wall.
Are you kidding me, Fritz?
Goldie yelled, and Fritz threw his hands up.
Hey, I tried to say something, but Scott and Vincent thinks it's best not to confuse her further. We're going to work on her getting her memory back.
Fritz yelled back.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. 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 My girlfriend thinks my killer is her boyfriend. This is preposterous. When I get my hands on him, I'm going to spend days torturing him, I swear.
Goldie's eyes had gone black, and tears of blood began dripping from his eyes. The poor male was angry and heartbroken. Of course, he couldn't blame him. Your name was so vulnerable, and she was being taken advantage of. This was exactly the type of situation he was worried about.
Brother,
Freddy said sternly.
you need to get a hold of yourself. Bro, he's already mad. He's already mad. How can you blame him? He's mad.
I would be pissed.
I would be mad too. Like, are you kidding me? You can't tell him to calm down as soon as they knew the news was already bad enough as this.
You need to calm
Calm
down. Okay.
down. He can't. He can't.
I mean, like, I would be terrified seeing him like that. His eyes are black, blood coming out of him.
I would be not only scared but also worried at the exact same time because My fight or flight response is completely entirely on the news.
So, if I saw that, I'm out.
Yeah, I just probably would have grabbed a water bottle, threw it to him, and just be like, "Calm your fuck."
Okay. Okay, let's get this over with. Ooh. Goldie glared at his brother but forced himself to sit down. He just wanted your name to be in his arms, to make sure she was okay, to take all of her pain away. The thought of Vincent doing all those things drove him crazy, and he felt like he was about to scream. Fritz sighed and sat beside Goldie on the floor, waiting for him to calm himself down. With slow, steady breaths, the male managed to.
I'm sorry, man, but I won't let him do anything to her. The moment she's able to safely travel, I'll bring her here, okay? But just be aware if she starts talking about Vincent, okay? You have to hold it together for her. You promise?
Fritz asked. The thought of your name coming in here and bragging about Vincent as her boyfriend nearly killed him on the inside. But he was certain of their connection, and he was certain he could help her remember. Goldie could see your name crying at whatever would transpire between her and Vincent. Until then, but he was worried he would have to assure her it wasn't her fault, because it really wasn't.
I promise.
He said softly, and all the others joined them on the floor.
I hope she remembers quickly.
Chica said. Goldie sighed.
Me too. Me too.
Goldie said, looking at his hands. Vincent awoke to whimpering. It took him a moment to remember the events of the day, but when he had jumped up quickly,
Hey, what's wrong? Are you in pain?
Vincent asked worriedly. Looking down at her, tears streamed down her cheeks, and she quickly tried to hide her face from Vincent. Vincent frowned.
I didn't mean to wake you up. I'm not in any pain.
She said, her voice strained from trying to hide the fact she was crying. Vincent pulled her hand away and gently wiped the tears.
Mm. Oh wait, that was my. Oh man, what's wrong then?
He asked, and your name glanced away like she was ashamed.
I'm scared.
She whispered after a long moment. Waking up in the hospital, injured with no recollection of anything, was frightening. She had to try and to be positive about it, but everything seemed off. At least about her brothers and her boyfriend.
Well, don't be. Everything will turn out just fine, and I won't let anyone hurt you. I promise. I
Oh
freaking
my
doubt that,
goodness.
but okay.
He has no right to say that.
Yeah, I doubt that. Like I said.
Vincent smiled at her. Your name looked up at him and forced a smile. Vincent had seemed nice enough and had helped her quite a bit that day. He seemed like a laughing and caring boyfriend. He was also fairly attractive.
No,
although she
no.
was definitely although she definitely couldn't remember what her type was anyways. If she was dating him, this had to be it. Lost in her thoughts, a vision of something blurry and golden crossed her mind.
Yes.
Frowning, frowning her brows, she tried her best to remember, but as quickly as it was there, it was gone. Forcing her attention back to Vincent, she smiled softly.
No. No, you have to remember. Oh, this is gonna kill me. I swear. uh, thank you so much. Can you tell me how far a relationship we were in? Oh, big questions. Big
She asked
questions.
curiously. Vincent blushed and cleared his throat.
We were living
Lies.
together. I'm gonna have to brush my teeth after this. I'm gonna have to brush my teeth after this.
Yeah, get all the
Well,
nasty.
yeah. Well, we were living together, but I was your roommate before I was your boyfriend. We weren't far into the actual relationship at all. No worries.
Vincent assured her, and Your Name smiled.
I see.
She felt
Hmm.
slightly relieved. They were close friends then. Of course, now they were dating. If she had fallen in love with him, then, without a doubt, she would be able to do it again. Of course, she would have to get to know him once more, if her memories were to never return.
How did we meet?
She was trying anything to trigger a memory.
Well, we worked at the same place together. We also had the same job at the same place, just different shifts.
Vincent spoke.
We're security guards. However, I am a day guard and you were the night guard. So I was a night owl.
Your Name giggled, and Vincent smirked.
I guess you were. When you feel better, I will take you there. Perhaps you'll be able to remember something. You seem to love your job.
Vincent said. Your Name nodded and smiled at him. A knock came from their door, and both of them looked over there. A nurse walked in and smiled.
Mm.
You got
Hello,
this,
lovebirds. Hello, lovebirds. I'm just here to give you your medicine. How are you feeling?
the nurse asked. Your Name.
I'm feeling a little sore, but I'm not in too much pain.
Your Name smiled softly.
You seem to have a high pain tolerance. I'm actually late in giving your pain medication. I'm sorry about that. We had a cold to take care of.
The nurse smiled as she put medication in Your Name's IV.
That's alright. I appreciate you getting to me as soon as you were able.
Your Name said. The nurse gave her a grateful look. After making sure Your Name was taken care of, and they didn't need anything, the nurse left. Vincent sat in the chair and they chatted mindlessly about random topics. Soon enough, the pain meds knocked Your Name out. Vincent sighed. You want me to read it, or
I
do you
don't
want,
know.
or do you want to read it?
I don't. Oof, I'm gonna read it. I don't know how I'm going to get through this.
He thought with a groan. He didn't mind the situation for reasons he couldn't understand, but he actually felt guilty. Vincent chuckled at that. He had never felt guilty in his entire life. This girl had flipped his entire world upside down. It was nice and frustrating at the same time.
The sooner this is all over, the better.
He thought darkly. And that's it. And I I told you it ends on a freaking cliffhanger. And now you're gonna want to read book 2 and 3. I haven't even
I
read
freaking
those
hate
yet.
this. I hate this. Even the ones that are in the comments are freaking frustrated. Oh my god.
Well, they don't realize that there is book 2 and 3, so
I freaking swear. And all of this it is in the clip. Oh, I really hope they make a new story. Oh, last updated November 22nd, 2019. That's a long time. That's a very long time. Oh man. Oh man. My,
no, I
oh
guess
my
not. I
goodness.
thought there was, but I guess not.
Oh my goodness. What
Well, I
in the
guess there isn't
world?
a book 2 and 3.
There isn't a book 2 and 3,
Nope.
and it was last updated. Oh no.
So I guess we'll never know what's gonna happen.
Oh man.
How does it end? It end on a cliffhanger, and there's no part 2 or 3.
Oh man, I all I am hoping for is that Yin got back with freaking Goldie and all that. Honestly, just why? No, no, no. And of all people, it's Vincent. Ah.
I'm pretty sure there was. I
Oh.
don't know why I can't find them now.
Yeah, but the fact that the freaking nurse said that was their boyfriend, and she immediately assumed that was her boyfriend for a little bit, not knowing for how. Like, I'm glad that she asked questions, but my God, why? Why he be lying? Then
Oh, I
again,
know.
how? Then again, why am I even asking this question? It's already been answered.
That is the
God,
pain of it.
God, no. So I guess it's gonna be left to our imagination for a little bit. Is that it?
I don't know why I thought that there was a 2 and 3.
Man, oh man. Can we? Is there a possibility we can play a game, or how long has it been?
We've already been on here for I think more than 3 hours.
More than 3 hours. Oh,
No, 2 hours and almost 20 minutes.
12 hours and almost 20 minutes. Dang, that's okay.
Well,
Should,
I guess if I do find a book 2 and 3, I guess I'll send it to you. Cause I'm pretty sure there
okay.
was. Cause I remember seeing it one
uh,
time.
Probably. I'm not sure.
That's
Um,
weird.
but aside from that, how about the? I guess since we're probably not gonna be able to like play any games for a little bit, I suppose we can like play it another time a little bit.
Yeah, we
Cause
can do
for
it another time. It is
yeah,
pretty late though.
yeah, it is very late. And the other thing is that I also have to brush my teeth
After reading
because
that
I read some.
nonsense.
I read that nonsense and I am not happy about it. As well, my husband is, by the way.
Oh,
My husband is calling me. I
well,
need to check up on him.
okay. Well, thank you for joining me.
You're most welcome. Oh my goodness. I am so glad I actually got your text, by the way, because holy crap, I thought I was gonna miss it.
I know, I'm glad you got it too. I was like,
Yeah. Because I know that normally whenever I'm trying to talk to somebody, I am very late with my response. So I promise you, I'm not trying to be rude. I just hate that I'm very late with responding texts, or at least certain texts that I am very interested in. At least I don't know.
hey, it's okay. It happens. I do it sometimes. It sucks.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much, all of you, for joining in this stream, and as well looking through like this cursed story. Or well,
Oh,
not a Chris's story, but like the what was written at least, because like oh my god,
um,
it
War
was
Bunny liked it.
oh my god, War Bunny liked it. Oh
Hmm.
yay, yeah, that's good, that's good.
Hey,
I'm glad you
I'm just
enjoyed it.
glad someone liked it. At least we're having fun in it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, but yeah, like I said, I need to like actually now that I think about it, I feel like I need to clean myself up, brush my teeth and everything, because like oh my gosh,
Yeah, yeah,
oh my
War Bunny.
gosh.
I thought there was a part 2 and 3, but I'll have to look a little bit. Maybe someone else created it, cause I'm pretty sure I saw it uh a few weeks ago, or maybe she removed them. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there was, or I might have just been hallucinating.
Honestly, I do. Even though it's already been like a few years past, but I still want to like at least read some, like what happened, so that either that like, and at this point, I don't care if it's like a bad or a happy ending. I just want the ending right now, cause like,
Seriously. But if
oh
I
my
do
gosh,
find
why
it,
the cliffhanger?
if I do find it, which I'm pretty sure I will, if I was able to find it last time, I'll send it to you and I'll probably start reading it.
Okay, okay,
But yeah, but
okay.
you better call your husband because I'm about to call mine. He's been texting me the whole time.
Oh my god.
I've been having to ignore him. He is not gonna be too happy with me.
Oh, you were ignoring. Oh
I,
man.
w- I was reading him and I was texting him back whenever I could, but he is not gonna be happy with me.
It's best to talk to them then, okay? You you both
I'm
have the
probably gonna get
inevitable.
yelled at. But
Oh, please.
thank
Oh,
you so
I
much for
really hope
joining me.
not. You're most welcome, and I'm glad that I'm able to join your stream. Wee.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I love this book. Hopefully, I can find a part 2 and 3. If not, it's okay. We have our imaginations for that reason.
Yeah. And also, even if it came to it, I probably wouldn't mind joining more of your stream where you start like going through and trying to find more stories that could work. You think, like, I know I would be like not very introduced most often, but I would be really happy to join through the streams though. I can't deny
Yeah.
that.
Oh
I can't
yeah.
deny.
But thank you so much for joining me, and I do hope all of you have an amazing day. Whew. And I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I know it's like almost 2.5 hours long.
It was
But
very long, but like it was fun. It was very
oh
very fun.
yes.
Whew.
Thank you so
Anyways,
much for
I probably
joining me.
you're most welcome. And anyways, I probably have to leave. I need to take a bath and a no, not a bath. I need to take a shower and brush my teeth because like oh my god,
So I'm
it
gonna have
was
to brush
dirty
my
as
teeth
hell.
after reading that. My goodness.
Yeah.
But we probably better be getting off here. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. To all of our watchers, please like and subscribe for some more of this, and hopefully I can find a part 2.
Hopefully.
But, bye!
Bye bye.